What's the motherfucking deal, Den folk? How y'all doing this evening? Welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the entire. Like, I mean, if you search the whole thing, I mean, Google it, DuckDuckGo, Bing that. I mean, don't Bing that bitch, but like, search the whole fucking internet. Best conversation happening right here. The reason why is because you're here right now and kicking with the Den folks, and I have a special guest, right? He ain't no guest. He's a regular, goddamn. He ain't no guest no more. Y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is. Who do we have? If you don't, though, I will allow this gentleman to introduce himself. Who we got joining us in the Den this afternoon?
Well, if you don't know who I am, my name is Cookie Beard. But if you do know, hands up, come to join Honcho today. Have a great conversation. Let's get this thing popping and rolling.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my Guadalupe! Shout out to culture. We're gonna have a good conversation, man. We're gonna have a real good conversation around here because some things have been being said, and we got to get to the bottom of this, right? And this is something that's been mentioned multiple times around here, and different variations of this statement and different opinions on this statement, and that is that black women are the most unprotected group in America. Now we got to determine whether this is true or false. Now I have my own opinion, and again, this is a conversation. This is a community. Everything matters. Y'all probably like this is like some dust on my keyboard, and I had to like get that shit. That shit was bothering the fuck out of me. So I want to know real quick poll before we get this started. Y'all already know 0 for no, 1 for yes. We're using binary code. Do you feel that black women are the most unprotected group in the United States of America? Again, 0 for no, 1 for yes. I want to know what y'all think real quick. And then we're going to dive into this conversation. Because I think there are a few things we have to discuss if we're going to be honest about it, right? Because what I've come to realize is I don't want to call them double standards, but I think there is a lack of perspective in some of these conversations. That's how it feels. How you define protection? Well, I don't know. Black women might have guns, so they might be strapped up. I don't know how many of y'all got your CDLs. Not goddamn CDL, concealed fucking CDL. I don't know. Might be a bunch of black bitches with CDLs too. Goddamn fuck. I don't know. CHL. But they might have CDLs and CHLs. So so I've seen a couple of no's, and I see a bunch of ones all in one comment. Shout out to D the Gamma. And I apologize. I just did the biggest asshole move. I didn't shout out to fucking Denfo. I'm an asshole. Y'all please forgive me. So we have joining us real quick, and let's get into it. I see Cultured, the Don of the Discord, John from New York, my favorite New Yorker, strong and grand, the man with the plan, aka Dan, Wink in the motherfucking building, holding it down as always. Beyond a funny, I'm just saying your name. Beyond a funny nigga joining us this afternoon. What's the motherfucking deal? Professor Trill. Trill O'Brien, if you will. What's the motherfucking deal? Houston B, what's the motherfucking deal? The lovely Miss Bell. How you doing this afternoon, Miss Bell? I ain't even seen you in the Discord. I'm finna have to pull up and cut your phone on. Man Cave Sports TV holding down the chat, the stream, and all of that. I appreciate it, sir. D the Gamma, the lovely Miss D the Gamma. How are you doing this afternoon? Teron Waller, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Doo. Clay Craig, aka Mr. Tiger Texan, what's the motherfucking deal? And let me see. Protect the kids. How about that? Absolutely. What Master Race? What's the motherfucking deal? K Grace. Okay, you didn't touch down in Miami. Let me find out you jamming Will Smith. Shout out to lovely Miss K Grace. Glad you could join us. Power. What the hell kind of emoji is that? Is that a piece of toast? What is that? I don't even know. I can't even tell what that is. All right. So we had our quick poll, and I agree with you, Dan. Y'all know me. Like, when it comes to a lot of this shit, like I honestly don't give too much of a shit about shit, except for those who cannot protect themselves. The youth, the children who are learning, who don't have legal rights to do so, the elderly, people who have, lived their lives and are less able to do certain things. Like the spectrum. Once you in that age range from about 15, 16 to about when you get your senior citizen discount, like 55, that's still young. To about 60, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what kind of 60 or some 60-year-olds nowadays is pretty good shape. Like in that age range, you do you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta figure that whole thing out. But on the ends of the spectrum, I do care about that. So absolutely protect the children. I want to talk about what I think, right? Replace gym class with self-defense class. I mean, yeah, you're in the gym class doing fake fighting anyway. I want to get your thought though, Mr. Man Up. Do you think black women are the least protected group in America?
You know, I'm gonna answer your question, then I'm gonna give you a statement after that.
Okay.
Say no. Everybody is protected or not protected. Like, what's his name? Strong and Grant just said,
Mm-hmm.
protect the kids.
Yeah.
100% facts. Excuse me, you're an adult. You say you can do it yourself. You don't need no man. Just like what Wink said. He said it earlier, right before we booted up. Dang, I forgot what he said. I'm finna repeat it. He said something about the pickle jar.
Yeah.
Open your own.
Yeah. You're giving struggling with the Vlasic.
100% facts. You say you don't need a man. You say you're strong and independent. You say you could do all this. Well, don't double back on what you said when things don't go your way. Here, at the end of the day, let's put it like this here. Men are not being protected themselves. Women are not. Everybody's not being protected. Hell, kids are not really being protected. I mean, if you don't believe me, look at the movie Cuties. You know what I'm saying? Look at a lot of these reality shows where they put kids out there in the wrong way. Stuff like that. Look, everybody needs protection. It ain't just women. It's everybody. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I need protection from the motherfucker walking down the street when I'm trying to go to the store. Shit.
I need
You know what I'm
protection
saying?
from the government, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? The government out to get me.
With that too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know where this comes from. And here's the deal. Me and you was talking right before you put it upstream. The woman that the two females I'm going to protect is my wife and my daughter.
Correct.
So if you feel like you're not being protected and you are a married woman, that's a situation you need to figure out what's going on with, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Now, referring to like in life, you're talking about life in general, then guess what? I'm not finna waste time protecting you. I gotta worry about what's at home. You see what I'm saying? I gotta protect those two at home. Like, for example, I protect my sisters. You know what I'm saying? But fuck that, they grown. Protect yourself.
Now you said something, and I don't mean to cut you off, but even though I am, about married woman. If a married woman, that should be a statement that should never come out of a married woman's mouth. You should,
True.
I mean, protection is what marriage is supposed to be all about, right? Like financial protection, security from the dangers that surround you. Like, so one, and I'm saying all this to a point. There's always an ulterior motive with me. So you shouldn't, like, as a black woman, if you're married, you shouldn't even say, like, these words shouldn't even come out of your mouth. You sound stupid. Then you made a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? I'll turn my mic up. I'm a little low there. All right, let me see if, let me know if this works a little better. I'll put the gain up, or maybe I'll bring it a little bit closer, because I don't yell too much, so maybe that it doesn't travel right. But if you're a married woman, a married black woman, and you're talking about, black women aren't pretty, you're a goofball. Like, then you need to go get a divorce or find a better man. You made a bad commitment. You made a bad choice. That's on you. And so my thing is, it's like, that's on you. Like, you don't get to say that. You made your choice. You picked your suitor. You deal with that. So if you're a married woman talking about black women unprotected, shut the fuck up. Because that don't make sense to me. Like, you got a man. Right, and that's what this is about. Like, this is the whole thing that I'm going to get to. If you have a man, you wouldn't be saying this. But like you said, a lot of women are, I don't need no man. Well, that's part of the services that a man provides. So as soon as you say that I don't need no man, then don't holler about I need protection. Nobody's protecting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made these choices. You can't have the best of both worlds. You can't say, I'm strong, I'm independent, I'm doing all this, what I want to do, and then something happens. And, especially if a lot of women choose career. I'm not saying that any of this is wrong, but again, you can't have both worlds. You can't have both sides. So if you've chosen to go in this direction, you take what comes with that. There's going to be trade-offs. And one trade-off that women who seek relationships, who decide to seek partners, one of the things that they get is that level of protection. But there was a comment Trill made a while back too, and this is what I say. Another thing I don't understand. So it's like, if you're out there running around and you're single and you're doing all of this, you better have a brother, an uncle, or somebody who has a commitment to you, because nobody who hasn't made a pledge or a commitment to or sworn something to you, it's not their duty to do that. Like you said, like say, hey, it's only a couple people I'm looking out for. Now, if I go to a location with you and you are riding with me, you're a part of my party, you know what I'm saying, and something happens, you all right. You under my, protection. But if I don't know you and some shit is going down, like I told y'all, I did the little video yesterday. I've talked about domestic violence situations again, and things like that, how I don't get involved in those. You got to choose better. And when choosing better is not just choosing better partners, choosing better life decisions that put you in a situation to allow men to come in your life who want to protect you. But it's been something that's been said, like I said, the Trill statement about corralling cats, right? And this is why I say it's such a weird statement, because I don't think anybody else makes this statement. I've only heard black women say this. But again, if you want to be independent and everybody wants to be doing their own thing, like, how can you expect a group of people who don't necessarily support a lot of the shit that you're pushing out there to protect you? A lot of women lean and associate with the LGBT stuff and all of those things that are going on. Most straight black men don't. It's not hatred. It's not something. It's just something they don't support. They're not out there gay bashing. They ain't out there beating up gays. They're not out there hunting them down. They just don't support that. So if you are under a cause or you're supporting something, again, like I said, again, we talk about the debate that happened last night. It's not necessarily about politics, but we know it's one group that gets special treatment from the party that most blacks, lean towards. You want to talk about protection, you keep voting for a party that wants to eradicate the same people that you say need to protect you, right? So how the fuck does that work? There's no straight black men in the Democratic Party, right? But then black women got mad at motherfuckers for voting for Trump. Well, there's a different ideology. There's a reason there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. Then you have a situation, and to kind of bring back, and I want to talk about marriage. I want to talk about the low numbers of marriage in the black community, because that's who's supposed to protect you, your husband, your immediate family, something like that. So you got a lot of women out here saying, well, I don't want a man. Well, then who's supposed to protect you? If you're saying I don't want a man, why would I come running out the woodworks? Why would I come running out the woods to come save you? Why would I risk me? You said you didn't want me. You said you didn't want nothing. And when you say I don't want something, to me that says like you have disdain, displeasure, dislike for it, right? So if you don't like me, you don't like what I'm about, you don't like what I stand for, then why the fuck should I come save you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why should I risk myself to help you when you don't even believe in what I'm about? I don't understand the logic, but again, there's some other things we could tie into it, but I'm trying my best to stay on track. Like, why would you think that you're entitled to dismiss, disrespect, and throw away anything that's semblance of straight black men, but then get mad when something happens? Oh, well, they weren't there. They weren't. Like, black women were mad because men wasn't fucking rocking with Jesse Smollett. Like, fuck y'all. Like, because we saw the shit from a fucking mile away. Y'all were emotional. Y'all were in your feelings. Oh, I like him on Empire, and he's just a little limp-wristed nice guy. He didn't do that. Y'all believed all the bullshit. Every man I know saw that shit from the jump. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense. That environment, that situation. Like, men wouldn't do that. Like, straight men don't do that. So maybe there's something that gay men do differently that maybe we don't know about. But everyone saw that shit and was like, that don't make sense. Who the fuck? You look, Waffle House 2 a.m. Ain't nobody going to Subway at no fucking 2 a.m. for a fucking foot long, $5 foot long. You did the Subway deal. But that's my thing. Like, so y'all are like angry at everything that black men are about, but then expect them at the drop of a dime to come out and risk their lives for you. You got a lot, I mean, again, and I'm not saying it's women in here, I'm just telling y'all what's going on. We got a lot of black women who call black men bullet bags. But then they'll turn around in the same sense say black men don't protect us. There's a mental illness going around, right? And that's the problem. Like, people feel like they deserve all of the benefits, you know what I'm saying, without doing the right work. And that's where I think a lot of black women are. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think things would change if more black women were seeking to be married instead of seeking to be quote unquote independent?
Well, yes and no. Let me say what I'm saying. You don't have to be married, but you have to change your mindset, because you hit it on the nail all the time. That whole time you was talking. Can y'all hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. But what I'm saying is this: your mindset. You have to, like you just said, you kept saying, "I don't need a man. I don't need a man." Well, don't come back and tell me that you want me to do this and do that for you. If you don't need me, okay, fine. It will go somewhere else. Like I said before, like I just said, my main focus, let's just say I don't have a wife and kids. Let's just say I don't have nobody. I'm a single man doing my own thing. Let's just throw that scenario out there. Even then, if I see you walking down the street, nope, I'm not going to do anything, because I'm not going to put myself in jeopardy. Let me give you a true story. This happened to me, I want to say like 2001 maybe, downtown Houston. I can't think of the name street right now, but downtown Houston, right a little bit past Luther's Barbecue. It was like 10 o'clock at night, something like that. I hear it's out of nowhere, a lady starts screaming. Of course, natural reaction, you're going to look, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? And I see this woman getting beat up by a guy. Of course, don't know who it is. So I'm thinking maybe a husband or boyfriend. I don't know. So I go, I'm not trying to beat on him or nothing like that. I'm trying to separate. Don't you know this lady hit me and going to tell me that's my man, he could do whatever he want to do to me? So you think no. True story. That's what happened. And ever since that day, I said, nope, I see you. I call the cops for you. That's it. Depending on how bad the situation is. And I might not do that. Because at the end of the day, guess what? She got mad because she yelling and screaming for help. And I go and I ain't, like I said, didn't jump on. I just tried to separate, you know, but hey, you know. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this: don't say we're not protecting you when someone is trying to. Then you beat them up for trying to. Don't say that somebody's not protecting you when you say you don't need them. For example, a lot of women do like to say they don't need no man for nothing. I've heard that thousands of times. I mean, millions of times. Wish I had a dollar every time I heard it. I would never have to work again in my life. And for real, think about it. And then those same women would turn around and say, well, men are dogs. Men don't do this. Men don't do that. Well, goddamn it, what you worried about it for when you say you don't need one? So turn your attention somewhere else. That's just how this works, man. It's just how it works. I can't say I don't need a house, but then get mad that I'm getting rained on every fucking day. Don't make no sense. I can't say I don't need no car when I know I didn't take my ass to work every morning. Don't make no fucking sense. It's like, come on. So when excuse me. So when I'm hearing this stuff, it's like I said, my only focus right now is protecting my wife and my little girl. I make sure that they are safe all the time. Even when I'm at work, I call my wife. When she's at work, she'll call me. I say, hey, everything's okay. You straight, blah, blah, blah. I call my daughter, say, hey, how you doing? Daddy just checking on you. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me, like you said, you can't have it both ways. It doesn't work that way. That's not how this thing works. If you want me to do something, then you got to drop that mindset of, I don't need no man. Well, here's the thing. When you want a man to protect you financially, then you got to know that this is the right guy that's going to do that. If you want a guy to protect you physically, once again, you got to know this is going to be the right guy that's going to do that. You want a guy to protect you any kind of way. Any kind of way. I don't care what it is that you're talking about, that you are referring to. You have to make sure this is what it is. So are black women the least protected? That's on them. That's how I'm gonna put it. That's on them.
And I
Like I
would,
said, nobody.
yeah,
Oh, go
nobody's
ahead.
looking out for anybody. And I would say, and honestly, I would say, yeah, they are the least protected. But again, like you said, that's a decision that I think the majority of them chose. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as Teron mentioned earlier, yes, there was the civil rights movement. A lot of women absconded to the feminist movement. Just this movement wasn't enough. And then when you didn't get the results you wanted out of that, a lot of them turned around and started blaming black men and said, "Oh, y'all abandoned us. Y'all didn't care. It was a misogynist." Like, what? What are you talking about? Because if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, there were a lot of well-known women who held prominent roles amongst the Black Panthers, amongst different movements in the civil rights movement. But a lot of women jumped ship to go be a part of something, to go be cannon fodder in another movement, and then got mad when they never got the results, and then want to blame the black man. Well, you jumped ship. That's on you. You felt being a woman was more important than being black, and then when you didn't get that same level of respect, now the intersectionality pops up. Well, it's not just being black. It's not just being a woman. It's being a black woman that makes it so much worse. But in reality, it's the behaviors. When you
Let
have
me
so
let me.
many, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm bad. Let me say this here before you continue. Apologize, cutting you off there.
Mm,
I want to say this here because it popped in my head. I didn't want to forget it. Trill had sent me a video like a couple of weeks ago, and I watched it, and I'm like, now see, this is exactly what men be talking about. Let me explain. This might sound weird, but let me explain. It was a video of I think maybe 4 or 5 transgender women. Well, from women to men. I put it like that. I don't know the terminology, and don't care to know, but I know they went from a woman to a man,
mm,
and all of them said, yes, it is difficult being a man.
mm,
You do not see what it is. They
mm,
said right away, people look at you different, people treat you different, people talk to you different, people act different. Uh, People don't want to do nothing when it comes to you. So here's the thing: when they see that, when they saw that themselves, they are the same human being. They just changed from woman to man.
mm,
Same human being. And they realized that, life is different.
mm. Yeah, I remember
They
seeing that.
realized, yeah, when Trill sent me that, I watched it and I was like, damn. So then they understand protecting the woman and the family and the household is way more extremely difficult than what they thought before they became a man. If that makes sense, how I'm putting it.
No, 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 absolutely. You're absolutely right. Because I remember seeing a lot of them, and they were upset because they just thought that as soon as they turned into men, they were going to get some kind of power and they were just going to get some kind of leadership roles in society. I remember one of them talking about they felt more ignored as a man than they did as a woman. They thought that they were oppressed and that people weren't listening to them. But then they talked about how they would say something as a woman and people would stop and give them the floor and let them speak. But then when they tried to do that as a man, they got completely ignored. Like y'all, a lot of times women don't realize that men handle them with kids' gloves. Like unless you literally getting beat on, then a man is probably handling you 30 to 40% softer than he would handle another man. You know what I mean? There's certain things that women get away with
Mm-hmm.
that another man does not get away with. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about uh, life or death decisions and simple things that y'all don't realize. Like that women don't realize. If you were a man, that shit would have got your ass beat. That shit might have got you sent to the hospital, or it might have got you, evaporated somewhere. But because your women and society says, hey, don't put your hands on them, they're fair, say all this other stuff. You have like this kind of layer of protection that most men give you. Most men are just dismissive of stuff. They're just not going to entertain it. They're not going to let it get to them because they don't want to take it that far. They don't want to go that far. So they just tend to just kind of like try to let it bounce off. But what happens is then you have a lot of women who get mad at that because they're not eliciting a reaction or something, and then they'll escalate the shit. And even in escalation, there's no retaliation. There's no nothing. And so when you're allowed to do that repeatedly, you think, oh, well, it's okay, or it's the behavior's acceptable. Till you run across that one dude who wasn't taught the right rules, who didn't, and he does something a little different. Then you don't understand why, you getting your head put through fucking drywall on a daily. You know what I'm saying? Because You fuck with the
See,
wrong one. You know what I'm saying?
and oh, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them even came out and said they gave a perfect example. They were stopped by the police. The police gave them a warning for speeding, blah blah blah. Told them don't do it no more. Let them go.
Mm-hmm.
Then do it again. Going to work. Same area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they said it was the same cop or not. I don't remember that part, but got a ticket. Couldn't talk their way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
They realized, damn.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom is this here. What we're trying to say, ladies, is this. If you want protection, men are here to protect you. But you cannot come with this mindset of saying you don't need a man. I'm independent. I'm strong. I can do this by myself. Blah, blah, blah. Get the hell on. All that nonsense that y'all talk. You got to lose that mindset. And then you will get anything you want from a man.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. Men have been telling women this since the beginning of time, basically. It depends on that guy, what it is that he likes and wants, because we all like and want different things with our women. But if you do what it is that you know that he wants and likes, you will get anything out of it.
But someone would
And
rather put more resistance and make it more difficult to get these blessings and these things. You know.
I agree with you, Wink. Women mature. Excuse me. You said something about women. Where it go? Women assume they're mature, but they're not. Then you said when women's nature is when they finally become agreeable human beings. I agree with that. And that does just not mean that you don't have an opinion, because I know it's the first thing that women are going to think. That's not what that means. That means you understand what it is that he is trying to do for you and whatever the situation may be. That's what that statement means. It don't mean that you don't have an opinion. It don't mean you just shut the fuck up. If I say I'm going here, yeah, let's go. No, that's not what that means. all it is that we are saying is this. Yeah, you're right. You're right. When it be his girl. All I'm saying is, at the same time is this. At the end of the day, if you want something, you got to be presentable to get whatever it is. You can't say you want $1 million and don't go out there and work for it. Nine times out of 10, it's not going to get handed to you. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if you want it, present yourself to go get it. That's it. Don't say that you don't want this or want that or don't need this, need that, but then flip the script and say, "Oh, he's not protecting me." That don't work that way.
Yeah, you gotta get dressed appropriately and have the credentials to apply for the job, and that's the problem. You want protection, you want all of these things, but you got to be something that's worth protecting. If you out here acting like any and everybody, if you out here acting crazy and wild, and niggas don't really want to be associated with you in the daytime. They'll hit you after midnight. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't gonna ever take you out in public and all that. And you wonder why ain't nobody protecting you. And then maybe you need to do a self-evaluation on your habits, your behaviors, the things that you think that you like and enjoy. And then maybe you need to realize you need to separate yourself from the pack and do something different and figure it out. Because in reality, now I know everything's not perfect and every story is different. But there are common factors that you can see in the majority of women who have been married long term. There's similarities that you can see in relationships as a whole that have been successful long term. And so, as a woman, especially like I say, you have to find your man for him to protect you. Um, a lot of them don't want that because what also that means is, especially in this day and age, giving up that extra attention. That social media provides and all that other stuff. To a lot of women these days, that fake attention is more pertinent than real attention from a real human being who actually gives a fuck about you. A lot of women would rather have the likes and the sugar daddies. And then when that shit wears out and fades away, now all men ain't shit because of a collective set of decisions that they made. But it's never the responsibility is never on them for those decisions. Like I guarantee the majority of women who are married wanted to be married. And they did the things or do the things that the stereotypical married woman tends to do. Now, is it everybody? No, it's a lot of less than qualified women getting married. It's a lot of dumb dudes marrying for ass and titties, thinking that the sex will keep them happy forever until they load up a bunch of kids and she divorced them and they paying a bunch of child support. But the majority is what I see. But I was thinking about something when I was thinking about this topic earlier, and I want to know your thoughts. If you're in the chat, I want to know your thoughts, Mr. Man Up. If you're in the chat, just drop your opinion. I believe that there, in the black community, that there are more single mothers than men who have had children out of wedlock. I believe there are more black single mothers than there are black men that have had children out of wedlock. Now you understand what I'm saying? Now, listen to the words that I'm saying. And so that means black men having children out of wedlock. One, I'm talking about if you're married and you've had kids, then it's not wedlock, I'm talking about just random kids popping them up all over the place. Because the reason why I feel this way is because exactly multiple baby daddies but the same thing is the same women have the same damn baby daddies. You know what I'm saying? So it's a likelihood if this one guy has a baby mama, he might have 2 or 3 others. You know what I'm saying? If he's doing, especially if it's one he's not really taking care of the kids, then it's a likelihood that he's got 2 or 3. We've seen some of them with 19, 20 other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So it's dudes doing 3, 4, 5, 6 times the work, or taking up 4, 5, 6 times the space. Fun with these various women getting multiple ones of them pregnant at the same time and things like that. Then there are guys. I won't say that there's multiple, but let's say it's a fewer number of guys doing most of the work. You know what I'm saying? But they're getting more women pregnant. They're getting, creating more kids out of wedlock. Now, would you agree or disagree with that in your opinion?
I agree. Oh, okay. No, I agree, because you remember that story I told you a long time ago. There's one girl that I saw living in Haverstock Apartments, off of I-59 North. What, 4 kids, 5 kids? Something like that. I forget exactly. I won't say 4, but anyway, so that's the same woman, with all these kids. Now, could they be different baby dads? Probably. I don't know. Could it be 1 or 2? Probably. But like you said, though, here's the deal. Who said this? Judge Judy said this. I'm a big fan of Judge Judy. Mm-hmm. And she said this one day. All the stuff that a lot of these women are doing today, women never wins. Women do not win. And when she said that, it was like a woman want to get back at the guy because he cheated on her. Mm-hmm. So now she's pregnant with another man's baby. And you still got your husband and stuff. So now you look horrible. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Women never win. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. And it's true. Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah, you might feel a certain type of way. You want to get back at him. But in the end, who's going to look stupid by doing all of this stuff? Me or you? For example, if I cheat on my wife right now and she catch me and let's just say, yeah, I cheated and that's it. But now she's mad and she want to go and get me fired from a job, bust out my window, I'm a car, cause a scene in the middle of the street. Who looks stupid, me or her?
Mm-hmm. Like her. It's always going to be a woman.
Yeah, I'm stupid for, stepping out, mm-hmm. But with all this going on, all this activity, who's going to look stupid, me or her? Mm-hmm. So, and that's what that means. It's like at the end of the day, women, y'all would never win by doing stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I've said that plenty of times. So at the end of the day, if you want to keep having kids out of wedlock, it's not going to work out for you. Because more likely a man going to see you with all these kids, they might get with you with 1 or 2, maybe. Mm-hmm. But if you have more than that, now it's kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because now, guess what? He's going to say, okay, do you want some kids? Because I might want some kids. Mm-hmm. And you might say, no, these 2 is enough. These 3 is enough. Or however many you got. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So now, guess what? He's going to go somewhere else. He don't want to be with you because you don't want no more. So then your mindset is going to change. And then now he might come in, he's going to be taking care of you and these other men's kids, mm-hmm. and one that can have his own. Mm-hmm. And then might be some drama with the father of those kids that's not his. So it's like, come on. That's why I say women, y'all do not win when y'all do crazy stuff like this. When you talk about nobody's protecting you, you look bad by saying that. Because at the end of the day, what are you doing to get protected? And by like in the situation you just brought up, having kids out of wedlock, why would you do something like that? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to a child supposed to be born to a couple with stability.
Correct.
That's how a child is supposed to be brought into this world. Supposed to be. I know people don't do that no more, but that's what it's supposed to be. So if you're not bringing a child into this world by stability, it do not look good on you. Trust me.
And
Because you're
again,
the.
I'm sorry.
Now go ahead. Go ahead.
And like I say, because I know there's people who have gone through these experiences. Some of these experiences are ones that we've dealt with. So it's not about shaming anybody. This is about, having a discussion, talking about things. And sometimes it may be uncomfortable. Then you need to take a reality check. If you've had these things happen and you know it made your life more difficult, don't get mad about it. Just realize, hey, you know what? Maybe there's some fact to that. And maybe something that I can do to adjust. But what tends to happen is like people hear certain things, they get mad. And that's what I don't understand. It's like, if somebody's telling me something again out of good spirit, because like I said, y'all know me, I talk about black women, but I'm only attracted to black women. So again, it's to create a better pool of black women out there. It's not about, I just want to come in here bashing and shitting on black women and shit. Like, and then black women are like, I'm not gonna fuck with them anyway. Like, I already know better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about that. Like, maybe to give some other niggas some games, y'all might be attracted to them fucking silicone asses and stuff like that. That may get you distracted. You may need a little bit of know-how, but the reason I say it's not about shaming, it's not about embarrassing. It's just, again, giving people better opportunities. Sometimes you got to reevaluate your behavior. And what it is, I know it's hard to change, man. I know it's hard to change, especially when you're emotionally driven, because you got to have a reason to want to change. And if you are comfortable with your emotions, driving your lifestyle, then it makes it very difficult. But what I'm saying is that people want to have the right to say shit, put a lot of time the shit that they're saying doesn't make any sense. And so that's kind of where I was going with this whole unprotected thing. Like, if you want protection, like no other group is going asking random men to protect them. What are those women going and do? They're getting married. They're having families. They expect the provider of that household to take care of them. The head of household to be all of those things. I don't see white women running around saying, white man ain't protecting us. I don't see that being a thing. Well, white people are getting married and creating families, and yes, they have. Well, what about them? Yes, you can always say that. We always have the anomalies. We always have the fucking outliers. Let's not play that game, because honestly, playing the outlier game is a very unintelligent thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Because what that means is that you just refuse to try to take the conversation in the context that it's in, because either you're incapable or you, like I say, you just refuse to do so, and then you try to bring up an outlier to I guess maybe satiate your beliefs. But that doesn't help you grow. That doesn't help you learn, and it makes you really lazy in a debate. So I want to avoid doing those things. But that's where we're
Here's the
at, man. I'm sorry. Go
thing, too. Let me say this here real quick. I'm not bashing black women either, because I love black women. As you can see right here on this picture behind me, here go a picture of me and my wife right here, saying she's black. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, all I'm saying is this. At the end of the day, guess, like you just said, here's the deal. If men are forced to take a look at themselves and make a change, like Michael Jackson say, take a look in the mirror and make that change, shit, everybody has to. Not just men, not just women, shit, kids, no matter what race, everybody has to. I know kids ain't gonna do it, but you get what I'm trying to say. Everybody has to do it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what race you are. So, and it's pitiful that, I said this plenty of times before, I think this is pitiful that complete strangers of men who've never met each other say the same thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
Don't you?
Yeah, the experiences across the board, different backgrounds, different situations. Currently in different relationship situations, and similar outcomes. But,
Yeah,
but
and
somehow,
don't you that I've never met Trill in my life. Me and him have phone calls all the time, and we say the same exact thing. Now he's not married, I am, but our opinions and the things that we see and the things that we've been through is basically the same.
I mean, that's what I'm
Don't-
saying. Man, that's crazy because I think a lot of the, especially here in the den, other people I've talked to, who I guess are a little bit more enlightened, who are more aware. Like, again, similar experiences, similar statements. The same way you told the story about witnessing a domestic violence situation in public. and they're having that outcome. Shit, I've shared 2 or 3 in here. I'm sure I saw Wink said he had a similar story to share. We've had other people come in here and talk about like, so, when people say, oh, you're just making like, no, it's not the case. Like, again, and that's the problem too. That's the problem. Like, I think when it comes to black women, the only race that I know that does this is when we're talking about shitty black women or bad habits in the culture or things like that, that you get mad about that instead of understanding why this is viewed that way. And then, making an opinion, hey, well, this behavior makes you look like a fucking whore, or this behavior is sexual in nature. So don't be upset when somebody approaches you sexually. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get mad. You can't be like, that's a baffling thing. I've seen it time and time again. Motherfucker be on the dance floor shaking your ass. Motherfucker get behind you, bent all over, doing all that. You get behind it because it ain't the motherfucker you want. So you want to get mad. Well, shit. You in the middle of a dance. That's what people do. Dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you dance in an enticing manner, you can't be upset if somebody approaches you that way. Like, I don't know, you sending them those signals, so you looking like an easy target, right? But you ask a lot of women, and well, I'm just having fun. Well, shit, I'm trying to have some fun too. So what you talking about? Like, that's like, what are you saying? Because you think of it a certain way doesn't mean that everybody else does. Men do not think like women. Women obviously don't think like men, because again, there are different consequences for those actions. But ultimately,
Yep.
like I say, this thing reverts back to the importance of the family, in black culture. And I say that in a multitude of levels because if you are raising a family, if you're having a son or a daughter, you as a man should be showing her how she should be protected, as his son, how you should be protecting. You have a wife, that is your job, your duty to protect, her and the rest of your household, your family. Like, that way this gets passed on. So when women are out here, I'm independent, I don't want no man on, like, once you've gone against the nuclear family, like, you've created the chaos. Once you have decided, I'm not trying to find a father figure for my child, or I'm even if you've already had children, like, I mean, there are ways to correct mistakes. It may be a little bit more difficult with children in tow, but try to set a standard to improve, like, because otherwise the cycle continues and you become a part of it. You know what I mean? And so, like, I'm a firm believer, yes, the man needs to be in the family. I know you're saying, well, what about the men that walk away? Again, we've never supported, congratulated, encouraged anything like that. And even the last statement I was saying is that you need to be there to protect your family. We've seen prepaid call in 1,000 times to say, shit, if you can run up in a raw, then you go ahead and wife her. You know what I'm saying? Because if you felt it was okay to bust up in her, and every risk that you took with that, then shit, it's gonna be cheaper to keep her. You know what I'm saying? And create something. But that also is the onus is on the women because the prize is between your thighs. So if you keep that shit closed, don't be acting like hoes. Keep the coochie on froze. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm trying to freestyle king. Now, what can a man do? Unless he takes it, and then he's the fucking scum of the earth. We ain't fucking with no rapists. We gonna put them under the ground. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you have the control. Period. Like, so that's why I say when people revert to, oh well, he was a deadbeat. Like, did he rape you? Then you had an equal participation in this situation. You made an equally bad choice in this situation. And he said, well, he said this and did this. Well, then you shouldn't have gave it up till he made a commitment to you. And you had, physical evidence, the hardware or the legality or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you better, there's always a way to kind of crawfish out of shit when we talk about certain things with women, and women do it often. They'll try to crawfish their way out of, well, this because this is good. But then what you end up doing is saying, well, because the man had more power, so if that's the case and you feel that way, then maybe that's telling you something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of for you to figure out.
At the end of the day, too, Honcho, guess what? Yeah, like we all say, it starts and ends with the woman. It does. No matter how you put it. If you feel like this man is not going to be there for you, don't let him get the goods. Men have been saying this, and Wink, you said it perfectly. We do not protect real men. We do not protect those fucked up men. You said it perfectly. We don't. Because once we see a guy being doing some shady shit, if it's your partner, you might say, hey, man, don't do that, blah, 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 whatever. Or sometimes you just separate yourself from it. You know what I'm saying? Depends on, the situation. and I've seen this. Wink, you talked about it. Trill talked about it. Honcho, you talked about it. Everybody talk about this. Women feel the need to protect the bullshit.
Hmm.
And we always wonder why.
No.
We don't protect bullshit, man. I have yet to ever hear a man say he walked out on his family, man, congratulations. Woo-wee, man, that's a good job.
No.
Well, I'm glad you did that. You walked out on your kids, hell yeah. Woo-wee.
No.
No, we don't do that shit. I'm gonna quote Trill. Whenever we talk about something like this was his exact word. That's a whole ass. I don't like to say that N word, but that's a whole ass end. That's what he be saying all the time, and he's 100% right. I have yet to hear a man do that. But as soon as we say, we feel like women don't do this. They acting like this. They do that. Here come a woman calling in, got to chime in and say, "Well, she doing this because of this and that." But then you ask that same woman, well, would you do that? And they'll say no. Yeah. Then why in the hell you got to comment on the fuck shit?
Yeah, like, that's the thing. And what a lot of women don't realize is that y'all allowing them to bring you down by associating with that. Like, y'all allowing the trash to get pushed to the forefront. And that's why people treat y'all like that. When you let the bees and the stallions and all that shit, you know, and they tell y'all, then they let them represent y'all politically. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't even realize that, you know, y'all are getting washed out. Like, normal ladies are getting washed out for supporting whores. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't even exist anymore. Like, where do you see normal, classy women on the regular on TV? They ain't on the Housewives and shit, because none of them hoes classy. They fucking fighting and doing all kind of dumb shit off. And half of them probably ain't even married. So why are they even calling them housewives? There's no good, clean representation. Shit can't be on the red table. We already know what that's all about. Where is good female representation? And that's what I ask often, because, you know, as raising a young woman, you know, hey, I want her to be able to point and say, hey, you know, this is a good role model to follow. This is a good role model to follow. I got to dig back in the history books. I got to pull up Madam C.J. Walker and shit. Get your hustle on.
I'm sorry, man. I got to cut you off again. I apologize, man.
No, you're all good, man.
I said too. Women love to say, well, Megan Thee Stallion got a college degree. How did you know she got a college degree? You had to look it up. Or she probably mentioned that, you know, on a TV show or something. How do you know that? If you never looked it up, or she never mentioned it on a TV show, how would you know that? Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I say, look, when it comes to guys, yeah, well, you might hear a guy talking about he had sex with some women, something like that. But that's about it. Yeah. And then some women will say, what about Too Short? I said, Too Short only mentioned about he had sex with this woman. That's it. He ain't never went into details about what was going on, all that good stuff. He ain't never, even Uncle Luke back in the day, Two Live Crew, never went into detail about what was going on. He probably said, pop that coochie, you know, shit like that. Yeah. You know, I sound stupid saying that, but you know what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, look, this is what I've said this many times. You got J. Cole, you got Nas, you somewhat Jay-Z as well too. You know, trying to spit powerful messages. But where's the woman spitting powerful messages out there? Like I said before, I only heard of one female lately. One, and I only heard the song once on the radio. And her name is Tink. And the name of the song was called Ratchet Commandments. And that was it. That's it. And, how do you? That's why I say you love the hoism, as you like to say, Honcho, the hoism, but you do not say, okay, you know what? I know that's where the money's at, and that old saying, sex sells, yeah, or whatever. I don't give a damn about all that. I know that's where the money's at. At the end of the day, and this is what I'm trying to say. If you want a better life, we all have to teach this, whether it's in the music, the movies, the commercials, TV, whatever, you know, social media, whatever the case is. We all have to teach this. Because here I'm trying to teach my daughter, you know what I'm saying, to you know, walk a straight line. You know what I'm saying? I know, you know, that line going to get crooked for her later on down the line, but at least in the back of her head, what, you know, what dad was trying to teach her and stuff like that, you know. But all I'm saying is this. At the end of the day, like you said, where is the positive female role models? I don't see none. Yeah, Megan Stallion got a college degree. Is she using that college degree right now?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that makes
A
you
lot of
want that make you want to negate it. So you know that's actually more detrimental to women because you said well she went to college but she making more money shaking her ass and having the titties hanging out. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like so using Megan Thee Stallion as a prop as a representative is like the worst case scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so she went to school and then realized she'll have a better lifestyle being a hoe or acting like a hoe or whatever. You know, promoting hoism instead of using that degree.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, what you go to school for? What did you go to school for if you're not going to use that degree? See what I'm saying? Because there are people that makes more money than these rappers by getting that education.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that this money being a rapper, you're making the money more quicker and you're famous. That's what they want. So you can miss me with all that bullshit. Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. Oh yeah, and why this on my mind? It just popped in my head, kind of off topic a little bit. On the dance show you did a few days ago with this woman, I think it was Miss Grace. I forgot who it was that called in, talking about her friend was a stripper now is in real estate or something like that. She said. Uh, I agree with what you said. You did not have to become a stripper just because your mom was and your grandma was and your great grandma. Fuck all that. You did not have to. You chose to. Guess what you could have did? I don't want to present myself like that. I'm finna become I don't know, I'm gonna work at McDonald's. Yeah, the money ain't as good, but I got my self-respect and my dignity. Nobody never seen what I look like without my clothes on, except for my man. Uh I can become a dog walker. Yeah, I might be picking up dog shit, but guess what? I got my self-respect and my dignity. What costs more? You see what I'm saying? What is more worth? More worth to you? Yeah, be a babysitter. People in your neighborhood have kids, they work, might need a babysitter. Whatever, I don't know, anything. Drive for Uber, drive for Lyft. I don't know, anything. You see what I'm saying? So that when I heard that, I'm like, really? You gonna use that argument? And then when Trill called in, he was heated. Trill was heated. But at the end of the day, I agree. You gonna really use that argument? Like we just got through saying, you said Megan Thee Stallion got a college degree. So what's the point? She ain't using it for nothing. Yeah, she might use it to fall back on, but right now, what is she doing with it? She's promoting women, putting their bodies out there, shaking their ass, showing, promoting sex and all that stuff. Thinking like what's her name? Cardi B said, I don't cook, I don't clean, but I'm gonna show you how I got this ring. Are you serious? You ain't got that ring no more. Now come on now with that nonsense. You see what I'm saying? Come on with that nonsense. So what did all that get you? Not a goddamn thing but headaches. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I even said the same thing about Lil Wayne. He got a college degree, went to the University of Houston, was declared a genius when he graduated. Was declared a genius, but you'll never know it. And the only reason I knew that because I looked it up one day. That's the only reason why I knew that. Yeah, because he never talked about it.
He was
I talked about
the same time I was there.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, all I'm saying is good. Look, so it ain't just about women, it's about men too. At the end of the day, all I'm saying is we're talking about women because women do this shit the most. They promote this crazy nonsense, this mindset, this thought in their head. And we all wonder why. Why? Where did y'all get this from? If you want a man to protect you, you got to present yourself as being protectable. You can't tell me you don't need me and then call me later when somebody trying to rob you to come help you. Hell no, you just told me you don't need me. So bye. Good luck to you. You know what I'm saying? So no, it don't work that way. You told me you don't need me, so don't get mad when don't holler for me to come save you when a dog is chasing you trying to bite your ankles off. Hell no, fuck that. So no. So when I'm hearing this stuff, it's like, look, do y'all realize the words that are coming out of your mouth? Do you realize it?
Yeah, Ms. Grace wanted to clarify that was Bad and Bougie and not her, just to make sure that made the statement.
Like I said, if I was wrong, I was wrong. Yeah, Wink, I can see the chat. I can see the chat, Wink. But yeah, like I said, if it was her, I wasn't 100% sure. So, Ms. Grace, I apologize.
But no, I mean, like you say, you're not lying, and that's all it is, man. Like honestly, I would love it if you women folk didn't have to deal with these problems. If these problems didn't perpetuate because of the situations and the outcomes that happen. And so that's really all it is. I say it often. probably should not ever get dating advice from women. Um, and don't listen to your friends about dating advice. If you married, don't share any of your relationship shit with your single friends. They don't fucking know shit. And then what you gotta understand too, especially women, if you're a married woman and you sharing shit with your single, they hate you. Like they may not say it, they may not come out, whatever. They hate your guts. They want your relationship to be ruined. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to be doing is giving them the game on how they can get a situation that they can be happy with. But I can guarantee, if you're a married woman, or been a married woman, whatever it may be, or if you look at your friends that are perpetually, you know, or have never really had a serious relationship, you can look at them and tell why. If you want to be honest with yourself, like, and you just look at their behavior, sometimes it can be appearance, but I don't even think appearance is as big a deal because I've seen some fucking gorilla monsoon bitches walk around with kids, and I've seen some of them get wifed up and married. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the most pleasant looking people. What is it that they're doing that, man willing to put that ring on it and they're together and they're happy? Like, I think what happens is women listen to other women about what things men find important. And we said 1,000 times, like you just mentioned, it's not complicated. It's not complicated at all. You know what I'm saying? Very simple, honestly. But women will say you got to do this and you got to do that. You ain't got to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? None of that is necessary. But
Nope.
there'll be more time to. We'll definitely delve deeper into this. Let me see.
Let me say something. Yeah. When you just said women like to listen to other women about advice, kind of like what Beyonce talking about, all you single ladies, be happy that you're single, all that crap, stuff like that. But wouldn't she going home to her man, Jay-Z?
Yes. Isn't that baffling? Why would a married woman make a song for single ladies?
Just saying. Ain't she going home to her man? But she telling you, be happy, you single, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, you don't need no man. All this crap. But she's going home to her man? But like you just said, women do like to listen to other women on how to attract a man. No, why don't you ask him? We're not complicated. We'll tell you. We'll be honest with you if you're willing to, accept the honesty. We'll tell you. No, it ain't cooking and clean because I can cook and clean my damn self. Can I cook as good as my wife and make all the good stuff that she makes? No, but I'm happy when it was just me. When it was just me and I was eating the crazy food I was eating, I was happy. Can I do it good as my wife? No, but I can cook and clean myself, so I don't need that.
Yeah, I will definitely survive.
But yeah, go ahead. Statement.
Yeah. You say, do men lose self-respect by going to a strip club? That's a good question, Jen. I think you got to look at it, depending on what type of man you are. I've been to 2, maybe 3, because I have a big thing about tricking off money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna smash. Let me change that statement. But I had one time. I had a friend. He's RIP. He's no longer with us, but he was very well off, and he was just like y'all come pull up. He's like, man, I'm not gonna go to the strip club. He's like, dog, y'all pull up. I got y'all. You do what you do. So we went and we had a real fun experience. You know what I'm saying? So that was that time. It wasn't my money being blown, so I wasn't tripping. And then the other time I went. Yeah, I got cock blocked. I'm mad as a bitch. It was an experience. I was there with a bunch of chicks, and I got cock blocked towards the end. But the thing about that, you take a bunch of chicks to the strip club, you're gonna get a way different reaction from the strippers than you do if you go in there like one deep. But yeah, I can't, like, to me, just giving women money for shaking I can smash with my mouthpiece. I don't need to trick off a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying on a chick. If I'm tricking off money, it's gonna be for some fucking magnums in some hotel room or something. You know what I'm saying? That's where that's gonna go. Like, I'm not finna. You don't feel keen. Do the strippers give it up? Yeah, they'll give it up. Like, don't go to. They say no sex in the champagne room, but like, some people go in the champagne room. I would advise you not to do that. You don't know how many times she'd have been in the champagne room this evening. You know what I'm saying? You just get into the strip club 1:00.
Let me answer that question. Me personally, I only been to strip club twice. once was the first time to see what all the fuss was about, and I kind of felt like a woman. I ain't gonna lie. I went in there, I tipped the lady a few bucks, and I was like, "Ooh, I feel dirty. I feel used."
Mm-hmm.
Like, hell no, I ain't going back. Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second time I went, because it was a friend's birthday, and I didn't do nothing. I didn't buy no drinks. I didn't tip nothing. I just sat back in the back and just, let them do their thing. I just went because it was a friend's birthday, to support him, be there for him. Other than that, I can't give my money. If I want to see a woman shaking her ass, it's on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's on TV. If I want a woman to shake her ass in my face where I can literally touch, I just go upstairs to my wife.
You hear me? And
You see what I'm saying?
yeah, that's what it is. And that's another thing, encouraging you young men because, the more you support these strip clubs and things, you encourage this behavior also. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
You
that
do.
is what it is. Now look, if you playing a game, you got a lot of money to blow, and you don't know what to do with it, and shit, hey, do what you do. I've seen some very interesting things.
I'm over here and pay some of my bills. If you ain't got money, you want to blow it. Come
Yeah,
come on, get over so I can pay my bills.
yeah, you feel me? Uh, there was another situation, but we ain't gonna get it. That was a house party, but we ain't gonna talk about it. We talking about strip clubs. But anyway, yeah. So that's all I'm saying, man. Like, but I don't know. It's a lot of dudes that like to be, tease and entertain or whatever. Some people look at it, well, it's just something to do. We gonna get drunk anyway. It's just a bar with some ass. It's not something I look forward to doing. I'll be like, I gotta get to the strip club. Like, I don't think I've ever initiated a conversation like, hey, y'all want to go to the strip club? Like, that's never been a thing. Wouldn't do it. But yeah, cock blocked. Yeah, I was. Yeah, we'll say that conversation from Discord after the stream, and I'll tell that story a little bit. But that's what we're gonna do. I know some of y'all are, want to get in, share your thoughts, and express your feelings. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna swap it up here. Give me just a moment. Y'all know still have a little issue. Can't quite take the calls yet, but we'll figure that out one day. So, Mr. Man Up, is there anything else you want to say, chop it up about before we swap it up? Anything else on your mind that we might not have a chance to touch on?
Oh no, that's cool, man. I know your callers want to chime in, put their 2 cents in, which is cool. But I do want to say this here: if anyone want to ask me questions, want to talk to me, if Hunter don't mind, hit me up on 3-way. I'll be sitting right here watching the rest of the show.
Okay, bet that. Well, that's a bet, Mr. Man Up. If somebody has a call, then that's what we'll do. We'll add him on. We had a debate conversation. If any of you ladies feeling froggy, and your plan is to go against the man, well, Man Up. Hey, Flo, heaven, appreciate you joining the den. You know it's Den Funk. Let me swap it up. Y'all give me just 1 second. It will be just a moment, and then we'll start taking some calls. Give me just one moment. What's the motherfucker do? We back. Give me just a second. Let me get the call in lines over again. Shout out to Mr. Man Up, man. Always a great conversation when he's able to join us. I always enjoy it. I know the Den folk enjoy it. Let me put the right thing in, and then we'll get the line open. I have not even checked text messages on this thing in forever. Do I have any? Let's see. What is this doing? I should have known. It's always a particular individual that has a random. It's the same text message. Then I can tell from the date when it was. Give me just one moment. What you mean? Fucking connect that bitch. There you go. Come on, ass clown. Give me just a second. So I'm connect the microphone. There we go. It's right there. I don't know. It's your fault. Damn thing. All right, cool. Let me drop the number on the screen. Let's get some calls in. Since we did have an extended conversation earlier, I'll actually stick to the 10-minute rules today, and so we can get as many in as we can till the end of the stream, and then immediately after stream we will slide into the Discord. I did not watch the debate last night, so if y'all want to chop it up a little bit about that in the Discord. Oh, I actually got a video I need to record immediately. Shortly after this too. I just read a story and it had me livid. Wow, they were gonna kidnap the Michigan governor. Oh, you motherfuckers out there mad. Y'all still closed down? Shit. That's unfortunate. All right. Numbers on the screen. I guess I need to pull up the actual calling lines to have it silent so I can tell when somebody's actually calling, right? That helps. 855-948-0369. If you want to call in, share your thoughts, make sure you hit that like button. If you ain't hit that like button yet, the kid that passed here in Houston, I hadn't heard about that. There's a situation though that happened on the East Coast about something I'm going to talk about. and it falls in line. Like I was so mad about it. Honestly, I was going to try to record it right before the stream, but I was just like, nah. But yeah, send it to me, man. If y'all got stories and y'all want me to talk about them, just shoot them my way. I'll look at them. I want to start doing more recordings and things. Anyway, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this afternoon?
Hi.
Hola, senor.
My name is John. I'm calling in from New York.
Ah, John from New York. First time caller. What's on your mind, Mr. John from New York?
Yes. I just, I caught your live stream. It's my first time viewing, and I just found it to be a very interesting topic. And it just, you had a guest on there. I believe his name was Man Up.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was very educational and insightful. And I figured as a cisgender white man in a liberal state, maybe I could call in and maybe, learn and add to the conversation with a fellow Black American.
Okay. Yes, as a what do you call it, cisgender Black American. We have some issues in which we will relate. So tell me your thoughts on today's topic, and that is, do you think that Black women are the least protected in America? Group.
No, I don't feel the least protected. I feel the least protected group is children. They always have been. They always will be. They don't have a voice of their own. Therefore, they're the most unprotected. A lot of the things that happen to adults also happen to children, if not everything and more. So therefore, it's impossible for any adult group to be the most unprotected, especially when the two-parent household rate has been dropping steadily amongst all races of Americans, which means they've never been more unprotected, the children, because they only have one parent. They're being exposed to various outside demons like social media, their derelict friends from down the corner, the drug dealer, the gangbanger, whoever. So children will always be the most unprotected group in America.
I agree. So, why do you think Black women say this then?
I feel that black women specifically say this because they're unhappy with their current dating situation as a group. You see, these types of things will happen amongst all races of people, but in different percentages and in different ways, but it's the same foundational issue that they're dealing with. And I feel that Black women feel that they have the lowest dating options because they feel there's, quote unquote, not enough good Black men going around. They're all in prison, they're all on the down low, they're all gangbangers, blah, 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 blah. So I feel that the reason why they're saying this is because they're trying to draw attention to the lack of quality Black men out there. Which, I mean, if we did the math, technically there's always less men of women. That goes for every race. That's just the way God made it. Every race has slightly more women than men. And, you know, I also feel that they're doing it because they want attention. I'm just going to take the gloves off and let it rip, because I feel like lately in my life I've been a little kinder than I normally am. I shouldn't say a little kind. I'm always kind. I'm a little nicer with my words than I normally am. And it always ends up biting me in the butt because I never feel like I told the whole truth. The reason why I feel a lot of black women are doing this is not necessarily that there isn't stories out there of black women being mistreated. I mean, there's always going to be stories of black women, or really any person out there being mistreated. It's that black women want what white women have. Black women believe that white women and Asian women and even Hispanic women live in a Disney fairy tale movie where they get treated like a princess. They have the big house with the white picket fence, and the man's always there. He's paying all the bills, and he wears a Superman costume every day. They're looking at what other people do and saying, I want that for myself. And the reality is, the ones who have their shit together, they do have it. There's plenty of black women out there that are married. There are plenty of black women out there that are protected. There are plenty of black women out there that have a good man in their life, whether it's a boyfriend or fiance. So the reality is, you're not getting the attention from the kind of black man that you want. You're getting attention from black men. You're getting attention from good black men. You're just not getting the amount or the kind of attention from the person you want. And people today, even adults, act like children more than ever. And they go online and they start throwing their temper tantrums. And the reality is, when you're 5'6", 210 pounds, built like Danny Woodhead, the running back, an NFL player, when you have a shitty attitude to match a shitty face, your options are going to be very limited, because everyone's beautiful in their own way, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But the type of people who go around screaming these types of catchphrases are usually people who look like the armpit of society. People that are universally pretty, that are fit, that have a good demeanor, good character, are feminine, or kind, people that have a decent job, people that, you know, aren't being overlooked because they have 2 kids from 2 different men, they're not screaming this. They're happy, they're married. And this idea that black men don't protect black women is a fucking insult to all of mankind. Because to sit here and say that Honcho wouldn't protect his mother if I started talking shit about her is ridiculous. Of course he would. To sit here and say that Honcho wouldn't protect his mom if I put hands on her, of course he would, without even thinking about it.
I love you, John, but I'd kill you.
see, and I deserve that, and I would deserve that killing. To sit here and say that Man Up would not defend his I think he has a daughter and his son, his kids, and his wife is ridiculous. You're trying to shame a group of men into liking you when you're unlikable. Okay? Because the ones that are likable are being liked. They're being chased. They're being courted. They're getting rings put on their finger. You know, like, so the reality is, if someone told you that you don't have to change, someone told you that you look good the way you are, someone told you that it's okay to be you because that's the way it is, you believed it, you bought into it because taking the path of least resistance is the easiest thing to do, and now it turned around and backfired in your fucking face, and you want to sit here and scream about it. And you want to use a Malcolm X quote that he made famous. I don't know if he started it, but he made it very popular, that black women are the most unprotected women. He was hustling black people, trying to get the black woman into the Nation of Islam, because then the black man would follow, and he used it. And now you're trying to play the whole pro-black card, because that's what's been, you know, the hot thing the last at least 6 months on YouTube. And the reality is, good black women don't have a problem finding good black men. It's just the way it is. It's the armpit of the society that screams this out.
I have no disagreements.
you know? And it's like, first of all, this was not a well thought out catchphrase or whatever you want to call it. Black women are unprotected. First of all, the out of wedlock rate in the black community, the last time I looked it up, was 76%. I didn't look up the details of how they came up with that number, so it might be a little less, it might be a little more, but let's just say it's in the 70s. These black children, these young black boys who grow up to be young black men, are raised by black women, or maybe a black aunt or a black grandma in the house. So if these young black boys are growing up to be disrespectful and lousy black men who don't protect black women, guess what? That means black women make horrible mothers. That means black women don't know how to teach a child the basics of respect. Hey, your mama is a woman. Treat me good. Treat the next woman you meet good. This means that black women are not teaching their kids how to be respectful. Because if there's no black man in the house, it's not the black man who's teaching these young black boys to be disrespectful. It's the mother. So it's like it's not even a well thought out catchphrase. And you could say, well, a man's not handling his business because he's not there. I agree. 100% I agree. But the mother is the one that's teaching him the ropes of life. And if he grows up to be a disrespectful man, it's because you taught him as a boy to be disrespectful, or you did not teach him to be respectful. So think before you speak. It makes women look foolish when they talk like that. There's all races of women that have a tough time finding a good man, and it's usually because of their nasty-ass attitude. There are fat women out there that find love. There are women with zero assets and skinny as olive oil and from Popeye that find love. There are women out there that are as ugly as sin in the face and as beautiful as heaven in the face. You can find anybody in those groups that are married and happy and protected. It is not because of your race. It is because of your actions or lack of actions.
I mean, 100% agree. I mean, there's nothing to dispute there.
You cannot agree with me, Honcho. I have the wrong skin color.
Oh, but you know,
you are not allowed to agree with me.
I tried. I was digging for ways to try to blame the white man for this. I got nothing. I was trying. I gotta follow the script, but I got nothing. I can't blame the white man for this one. The white man ain't raising the kids.
Blame him. But it feels so good. Just blame him. Blame him.
This is goddamn Trump's fault. That's what the fuck it is. You know, every kid born out of wedlock in the last 4 years, really 5, because when he was campaigning, he was causing stress. So all the kids born out of wedlock the last 5 years, definitely Trump's fault. So yeah, we're gonna.
And here's another thing. You know, people could say, well, this white man, he doesn't understand the history of black people. He lives in his white life, and he doesn't understand the struggle. Bullshit. I can read. I have people that are black that I can ask questions to. I've lived amongst black communities. I've seen a lot. I don't know as much as, the most woke black person, but I know more than enough. You could sit here and say, well, this all stems back to slavery. You could say, well, back in the day, they used to tear the family up. They used to do this and that, and then, this, and then the Great Society Act, they paid the man to leave that. You could say all this stuff, but the reality is that these problems from the year like 1900, 1910, all it's like 1970, all of the statistics when it came to a two-parent home for all races, but specifically for black people, was great. It was phenomenal. At certain points, it was even higher than white people's rates. So this idea that slavery caused all this is bullshit, because during segregation, black people had a higher two-parent household rate. They had a lower drug use rate. They had all these things that black people want to say is the reason why they can't stay together now and handle, quote-unquote, their responsibilities as a man. It's a lie. Right. During redlining, you name it, Jim Crow, the Great Migration, no matter what part of black American history between the year 1900 and 1970 you can come up with, the two-parent home was not an issue. So you could sit here and tell, they used to tear our families apart on the slave plantation. That's true. So then how come after slavery, up until 1970, the two-parent home was way stronger than it is now? Are we, so it's like, when I hear somebody talk like that, and it's usually a woke black woman, respectfully, she'll sit here and tell you all this, like Bad and Bougie tried doing it the other day when she called in. He doesn't understand, how during slavery they tore the family apart. No, I perfectly understand, and so does she, and so does every other black person in this country. But you're sitting here, and you're so smart, and you're so wise, and quote-unquote so educated. You're so educated that you know all about that, about the history. You know that it was bad. You know the Willie Lynch letter was horrible. You know that, there's been a lot of shit that's been put on black people's backs. You could sit here and tell me all these things, and you could tell me how it's affected you, and you know that it's been horrible, and it's a travesty to the black community. You could sit here and tell me how you know all this stuff, and you're so fucking wise, but today, you can't stop doing it. That's how smart. You're so smart that you know everything, but yet you can't stop doing it. Let me tell you, and it's like, give me a fucking break. Like, I honestly think, like, when people talk to me like that, I look at them and say, are you so embarrassed that you're just going to lie to me?
I think they are.
If you know that it's bad for the black community, and you know that it was done to hurt the black community, and you know that it's happening, and you caught on to it because you're smart and educated, why are you still doing it today? So the reality is, black men, like any other men, when some woman is on some feminism bullshit, when some woman wants to be the man of the house instead of the woman in the house, they're not going to be interested for anything more than just sex.
Correct.
It is what it is. The out-of-wedlock rate for white people and Hispanic people has also gone up over the years. And that's because feminism has started to be injected into the white community and the Hispanic community over the last 35 years. It is what it is. As men, we are men at the core, regardless of the color of your skin, and we're not going to put up with what we're not going to put up with. But we're not allowed to say that, but women can say all the time, I'm not putting up with a man who does so-and-so. You women, not all women, not like just one race, women in general, y'all who are on this feminism trip, you made your bed, now go sleep in it. Okay? Everybody women tried warning men, if you don't do so-and-so and so, it ain't going to work out for you with us. Men tried warning women, if you don't do so-and-so, it ain't going to work out. Nobody fucking listened, and we're at where we are today. So, stop harassing black women, stop harassing black men. I would never let white women harass white men. I don't want anybody harassing anyone regardless of race. Check yourself physically, check yourself mentally, check yourself spiritually, and I promise you, whether you're a man or a woman, your doors will open for you, and your options will greatly improve.
Absolutely.
Did I go over the 10-minute time limit?
Oh, gosh, I didn't have the thingy up. Just a little bit. I mean, you're preaching. Hey, look, sometimes you got to get a little extra on the, what's today? Thursday? Damn, it's Thursday already? It ain't a Sunday sermon, but hey, when you're preaching, you got to let a man keep preaching. You know what I'm saying? Hey, when the word is good, you got to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, feminism has not worked in any community. I mean, even the Black Panthers, part of the reason why they broke up was because the men and the women were fighting because the men felt that the women in the Black Panther Party had too much power. So, I mean, like, feminism does not work. It just doesn't. It is what it is. So, again, love yourself, check yourself. For men, we have to act a certain way when it comes to women. Women have to act a certain way when it comes to men. It is what it is. We're never going to change it. It's written in our biology. If you do what your man wants, your man will be happy and keep you around. If you do what your woman wants, she'll be happy and keep you around. It is what it is.
I agree. Mr. John, another excellent call as always, man. I have nothing to add, nothing to rebut. Came in and jumped it off right.
All right. I'm sure someone will call in and totally misconstrue what I said and say that I'm a racist just because they want to yell at me because a white guy said all this. But, Honcho, I'm protected when I'm around you, so I know I'm safe.
You know, I got you, John.
All right. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to Mr. John, getting the calls going. I'm gonna put you on hold just a second. Now, give me one moment. I gotta check this thing real quick. You know, the teacher sent in some shit from school. We ain't playing no games with that shit. Yeah, okay. I thought it was an emergency. All right, we Gucci. You know, I don't play no games with that shit. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the den this afternoon.
What's good, Honcho? It's Wing, bro.
All right. That was good. So what's on your mind, Wing? Man, do you feel like black women are the most unprotected class in America?
Shit, how can the strong want protection? They strong enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
They strong, right? That's what they said. That's how they act. Y'all sell yourselves a facade of some shit that you don't even really truly believe. That strong, independent bullshit, that shit don't attract no man. If you think that shit's attracted to a man, you're gonna die lonely. Point blank, period. Because them women that think like that, they run all their relationships because they're incapable of being mature enough to take a man's guidance. And if you believe you don't need guidance from a man, you're losing. If you believe that, ain't even nothing really to explain to you, because when you reach your end, you're gonna realize all that shit that you could have had and all the time you wasted being alone is gonna come back to bite you in the ass. Because it's thinking like that is why so many men are going over to the homosexual realm. It's because of that thinking right there. That's strong. That IENDEPENDENT. Yeah, you think that shit really matter to me?
Did Boosie fly by making that song, man?
Level of independence ain't even the fact that you're independent. It's the way you go about it. Women think that being independent and all that shit means shitting on a nigga in the process. Okay. He gonna always have it better than you in the end anyway. Yeah. It's more good women out here than it is good men that you wish to be with the man that you dream about being. You're way less. You have way. It's a far less percentage of you getting what you want versus what I know I can. Because you have the skills to do so. They don't. A woman ain't got to do nothing to get no man except look cute, be presentable, not talk too damn much, and learn how to utilize her mouth at the right time. That does not mean shut up or be a slave. It does not mean none of this stupid shit that a lot of these women believe, and they keep telling other women and they tell their daughters the same stupid shit, and they turning their sons into simps. They're to blame for this shit. They're to blame for this shit. Men are partially to blame because, hey, it starts with them first. They allowed these women to get out of line, and the shit went uncorrected for so long. But then they'll say, "Oh, they don't need correction. You ain't correcting yourself. You ain't mature enough to even take." Like, it really dawned on me, and this dawned on me even in my own relationship with my wife, who we just had our 8-year anniversary, September 14th. My woman was incapable of taking the truth until she matured. Any woman that's going against the truth, any woman that's going against the facts, any woman who doesn't want to hear the truth, she can't be saved until she saves herself. So when men can tell themselves the truth, because they have to admit the truth to them all the time, because they have to hear the ugly truth from men and women alike. That's something that we can take overall. But the moment that you tell a woman the truth about something that she had, because she doesn't expect someone that she likes to tell her things that could potentially hurt her feelings. But women can tell you what hurt your feelings, can tell you shit that hurt your feelings all the time with no repercussions, and she expects you to suck that shit up and not use your tongue in the wrong way and be the man that she hopes you are. Well, she doesn't get to decide the man that you are. You do. Any woman that thinks that he's a man because of you is losing. You got a lot of women out here saying, when the question is asked, is like, who's the reason why you get to be a man in a relationship? And a lot of women think that they let their men be men. That's fucked up. That's a fucked up way of thinking. Because men would never think like you ain't no woman because of them. What? No. You're a woman because of the way that your mother and women around her help groom you along the way. If you don't have oh my bad, what you was saying?
No, I say it's a very, like I said, it's a very arrogant way of thinking. But I do believe, a lot of women are unknowingly arrogant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But why are they arrogant? They arrogant because they know what they possess between their legs at such an early age. They realize that they are in control of the sexual marketplace. That's why they're arrogant. They can pick and choose who they get that swat away to. Take that away, and they actually had to develop skills to get what they want instead of just looking cute and playing the part for a limited time. Trust me, this world will be fucking doomed because they don't have the skills to get anything out of a man, really. All they have to do is just say something, and it's up to him to make the decision. He's either going to do it or he's not. And he's going to do it on a few merits. He actually likes you. But don't think you skilled your way into anything. There's very few women out here who can really, really talk their way into shit. You dealing with simps on a totally different level in today's society, and now they trying to get information from other men because when the information they got from women set them up for failure.
Correct.
So when women are giving men advice, it's always the wrong thing because women are always unwilling to tell the truth and give men the playbook of women. Shahrazad Ali was doing this in the 80s, and she got vilified by other women about the knowledge that she was willing to give men about women. If you don't know who Shahrazad Ali is, go look her up. She's a godsend.
Yeah, they definitely didn't want to hear that because, words like submissive, they incite fear for some reason. Like they think that's a word that's taking away your power, when in reality, being submissive is to have more power. But you'd have to understand that, first you have to disconnect your feelings from the words, and from a lot of other words, because that's what incites a lot of these actions, just the feelings that you feel from hearing certain words as opposed to what's really being said. And I think that's a big issue. Right. Women have to disconnect.
Women can't understand the notion that the shit that means something to them does not mean anything to us. Those are prerequisites because at the end of the day, you're dating up. If you're dating up, then that means that person is automatically is in a better position that you're in. That means you can be taken care of. It's no woman on this earth who is gonna come out and lie and say she doesn't want to be taken care of because she's a goddamn lie. Oh, I can get it on my own, yeah. But you would rather have the obvious. But they'll lie and say, "Oh, I don't need no man for that. I'm taking care of it. I'm doing just fine." Yeah, you're doing fine. Yeah, for now.
Real quick, and Beautiful Brown made a statement. You said Shahrazad Ali is single-handedly responsible for destruction of Black family. That again
no, she isn't.
Is
wow.
An impossible statement. The destruction of the Black family was happening way before Shahrazad Ali. So I wouldn't say she's single. There's multiple factors.
She literally has helped black men to the point to where when they stopped dealing with black women, they started dealing with black women again and gave them another try, and tried to reestablish those households and those relationships. So for her to say that, it was a ridiculous notion, and she didn't listen to the message, and all she heard was probably about the part about getting popped in the mouth. That's probably what she's doing. She gets stuck on. But see, just like we just found out yesterday, women get stuck on statements and they can never hear what the mission statement really means. Women don't hear men. They don't even listen to men. But they want you to hear everything that they're saying and acknowledge everything that they go through because their feelings are involved. That's why so many of them end up in the positions that they're in. They pretend to have intuition, but hell, it's all about inconsistencies of why you even have suspicion. Without inconsistencies, what is there for you to find out? I mean, it's they sell themselves so much, and they rid themselves of everything they could have if they were willing to agree and be in a position to be agreed with. We don't want to go against them. We're not trying to be against them. But damn, if we have to be with you and we got to tell you the fucking truth, what's the point of me being in a relationship, but you claim you want the truth, but you only want it on your terms? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
So if you were to give advice to a woman right now,
You need to call my own lady, bro.
in a lost place, trying to figure some things out, what would you advise her to do if she was out seeking protection? We're talking about being the least protected. What would you advise a woman who feels unprotected right now to do?
Be agreeable. Show the fact that you can talk without having to raise your voice with all this damn masculine attitude and thinking you have to pump men to believe what you want. Hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hold on, give me just a second. I'll show my kids talk to me. Hey, how y'all doing? You finna get ready to go?
And so,
I
okay,
just
man,
came in.
You could have taken
if
them
you ain't
going
catch it.
in and out.
I mean, let me go.
It said that the white man is holding me back. Says this leaves me no other choice but to abandon my wife and kids. Pimps up, whores down. See you bitches at the top. Hey man, look Jack, that's the way you got to get it, man. So there's that. Northern Light. I'm gonna vehemently disagree with you. Just to be that simple. And if you post that same thing again, I'm time be out because I don't do spam. Everybody's opinions are welcome. Just don't spam the goofy shit. Like we saw it the first time. You know what I'm saying? So we get you. I disagree with you, but we.
What was your question to me?
We're saying that again, if a woman who feels unprotected right now, what should she be doing to
Stop that bullshit. Stop selling yourselves lies. That's number one. Realize for what he's saying for face value and try to understand the long-term effects of what he's saying. He's not telling you nothing to hurt you. The same way, in retrospect, you not telling your man nothing that is hurting him. But if he's fucking up, then you have every right to tell him where he is not handling his business in your current relationship. If your man ain't fucking you right, what's a nice way to say that your man ain't putting it down in the bed? But if he don't know and if you don't tell him, how the fuck is he supposed to correct a situation? Mm-hmm. But then you find yourself where you have to creep out of the relationship to get something somewhere to be fulfilled sexually. That's just an aspect that I'm using as an example, but that's not the whole overall basis of any relationship. So I don't want anybody to think I'm being one-sided in what I'm saying, because it works both ways. But you have to be agreeable. You have to be in a position to where if I tell you information, you don't think I'm automatically attacking you, because the truth does not give a fuck about your feelings, which some people found out in the den recently in the voice chat for the Discord. Not gonna name no names though, but it's one of these situations, man, where when you don't even have common ground, how the fuck can you get across to any person? Get across to any person, and how can you build any foundation? The yin and yang is part of every single fact of life, and this way is built this way for a reason. You do not need to be on the same level. You do not need to be equal. That's a bullshit notion too, that we need to be equal. You can't be equal. You're different. How the fuck can you be equal when you're different? It's a stupid mind frame that these women have been sold, and they believe this shit, and they are carrying this shit over, and that's why they're consistently single mothers, and that's exactly why they have in relationships with men, and they're giving their pussy up for nothing. If this don't apply, then let it fly.
Correct.
Because because everything that I'm saying, if it don't apply to you, then you don't even have to worry about what I'm talking about. And you should be pouring this knowledge of what we're giving you right now into these bitches who don't know no better. Because you all know some clucker walking around who is lost, who is living in la la land, who has no knowledge, no guidance. But at the end of the day, a man isn't supposed to be a leader. Well, where the fuck do you even get guidance from in the first place? The man's the disciplinarian. The man's the one who has the overall say in the relationship when you're in a marriage. Of course, you're going to come together and you're going to come to certain terms. But any man who respects any wife or any woman in a relationship who knows her man is strong and knows he handles his business is going to be quiet and hold her position. She doesn't have to say anything because she knows he's a man who can speak for himself. Respect is not given, it is earned. That's for men first and women second. Because without a man gaining your respect first, it is nothing that you can receive from that man that is going to be tangible to your life going forward. How the hell can you expect men to be in relationships and want them to raise your children when you want them to do a way you always envision it? No, sweetie, you don't get to decide anything of how this man operates on any level, with the exceptions of things that he is messing up on. And when you give your opinion, it's up to him to rectify those situations for you to survive their relationship. It is always going to be this way. It's never going to be any way. And anyone who is fighting what is being said, you're part of the problem and always will be. I understand everyone has different outlooks. I understand people are going to see things in a different light, which we can all come to the table and agree, but it has to be put in context of how the situation can be rectified. Like, give people a chance, let people work on the things that are bringing down the relationship and gain some consistency. Women know these dudes that they get with is bad for them, but that's what they want anyway, because that's what they've been sold. They've been sold that the bad guys are alpha males, the bad guys are the only ones with any backbone in this world, and that ain't true. And them same dudes is leaving you alone in the dust. You're going to always want that kind of man, and you're going to always want that man to think the way that you want him to, but you respect him so much is because he doesn't do exactly what you subscribe him to. It's because he has his own mind and he's unwilling to play your game is why it's what you want in the first place. No woman wants no man to play her game because in the end she knows she loses if he does that. And she's testing that man constantly to see if he does not succumb to the notions of thinking like a woman. Because the moment he's not a man anymore, trust me, he's out of the door.
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing about women. You know that we've seen it 1,000 times before. They try to get with somebody in hopes of changing them. One or two things happen. Eventually, they do change them, and they end up being disappointed because, in reality, they didn't know what they wanted, or they don't.
Exactly.
And if they feel like they can't corral them, they upset because, you know, whatever malicious plan they had did not succeed, and he's going to be who he's supposed to be. But like I say, it's just, you know, it's crazy because we've seen it time and time. The cycle continues to happen. But there are some people who disagree, and those of you who may disagree,
that's fine.
That's
fine.
We'll call in line. We'll probably take another call after this, but we might not have time to get to a bunch of calls in. But we always have the
that's
Discord.
fine. And I'm wink.
Yes.
And I'm wink.
Yes.
If you want to address anything, so I can know who's addressing me.
Yes.
Address yourself. You can address me, and if you want to address me further, we can get in the Discord. I'm not finna do no yelling. I'm not finna do no arguing, and I'm not gonna be disrespected in no kind of way. I'm just gonna let you know that right now.
Okay. So like I said, yeah, every time after the live stream, for those of you who are new, we do meet up in the Discord and sometimes have very lively conversations, especially when everybody is not in agreement. So I'll put the link to the Discord.
And one more point. I'm talking to men on this whole entire issue. I'm not even really talking to women. I want them to hear what I'm saying, but I'm not talking to them directly. I'm talking to men because men know exactly what I'm talking about. Men suffer from everything that I have discussed, and I'm not telling women how to feel, in the very least. I'm not doing that at all. So I don't want any of those bullshit notions to be thrown across if you want to have a conversation about anything that I stated. We're going to nip that in the bud right now.
Yes. Clarity and actuality. So that's a bit. Well, Mr. Winkler, like I said, we're going to get what time we got on? We're going to get one more call in, and then, like I said, we're going to slide into the Discord. But I appreciate you calling and sharing your thoughts, man. Again, like I say, some people
Already,
don't like
man.
it, but hey, it is what it is.
Hey, who cares? What they gonna do about it? Nothing.
Already. So, with that being said, Mr. Wing, like I said, I appreciate the call. We're gonna chop it up here in a few in the Discord, man.
Already, bro.
All right, bet that. All right, we'll take one more call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this afternoon?
It's Shannon.
Shannon, what's the motherfucking deal, Miss Shannon? How you doing this
I
afternoon?
appreciate you taking me. It was interesting to hear that jargon. I'm playing. But no, I'm just getting off a call, so I was listening to the podcast, and I wrote a few notes over here about the question is, are women protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
So so I'll just go address each one of these as they come. So who is saying women are the least unprotected minority? Is black women, right?
Yes.
Black women are saying that they feel unprotected when they're in the workplace, when they're out in the community. That's who the people are saying that, right? And the question does, what does that even fucking really mean? If you ask me, when it comes to a lot of women, when they talk about they're least protected, first of all, they feel that they are a black person, so they do get, at least we're talking about black women, of course. Mm-hmm. They do feel like that their race plays an impact on how they're treated. And they also feel that their gender also plays a way in which they're treated. And so both those things combined, just say, hey, I'm a woman and I'm black, I face more discrimination than anyone else. Is that necessarily right? That's debatable. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I get their perspective, right? And the reason why they're still vocalizing this is because the only way for people to even know about the stuff that they're dealing with is to vocalize it. So, like, if I'm getting fucked over at work, I'm going to let my boss know. Correct? If I'm getting fucked over, somewhere else, I'm gonna go to court. So these black women, their strategy, which is nothing wrong with it, is that they want people to understand that they feel persecuted. And regardless if it's right or wrong, if it's feel versus real, that's how they feel, and that's what they're really stating. That hey, I feel persecuted in society. I feel marginalized in my own community, being a black woman. I feel like I don't have a voice. All these things. Like I say, it may not even be anything that is even truthful or, let's say, grounded. It is, and it doesn't have to be. But regardless, that's where that's coming from, right? Yeah. And so a lot of women, they're saying and so because of that, they feel unprotected. A lot of them say, well, if I'm unprotected, I got to be, what sort they use? Independent. Yeah. All right? I need to be independent. I got to be self-sufficient. I got to be able to do all these things by myself. And the question becomes, why are women saying that? And if you look on surface level, you say, oh, they're being independent. They don't want to be with men. No. The reality is that these women are hurt. These women are hurt. They feel hurt at their job. They feel hurt in these past relationships that they were in. They feel hurt. And so the whole thing about being independent is about I want to be by myself. I want to be able to be functional by myself. And regardless of everything else that goes south, I'm okay. If my boyfriend cheats on me, I'm okay. I'm independent. I don't need him. You know what I'm saying? Even though realistically, when someone says, I don't need you, they really mean they need it. You know what I'm saying? If you've ever been on a date with a chick and she say she ain't hungry, she really want to get something to eat.
Lying asses.
You know what I'm saying? And so now the question becomes, I'm just going through some of the stuff I wrote down. Why are some of the men upset, right? Because men have different expectations in a relationship. And when we hear that someone say they want to be independent, for us off top, we're not necessarily hearing their perspective. And a lot of times, it's about, I don't really know where you're coming from when you say independent. I'm thinking you're saying that men aren't important. I'm thinking that you're saying that you're good all by yourself. I feel like you want to shine and, look better than me and put me down. There are women who do that, don't get me mistaken. But the large outpour of women saying this is women who feel hurt. I know many women, married women or women in relationships who say that, they feel unprotected. They feel like they need to be independent. And that's where they're coming from. A lot of these women have seen other women in broken down households whose women were not educated, and they want to basically have the opportunity to protect themselves, Right. And so what I'll say at the end is that what can we do as men to help this, because it's not just women, it's men and women, right? So what can men do to make this better, right? As men, we can encourage their drive for success. I'm never going to tell a woman not to try to be good in school or be good at her career because she wants to be independent. That's never going to happen. However, what I will say is that as men, we should also encourage relationships. These women are broken and they're hurt, and that's where they're coming from. And if you come at them from that perspective, you realize, oh, okay, now I get where you're coming from, all right? For black women, what can women do? Women can also do something, if you ask me. They can voice their perspective and understand that, we're listening, but if we don't necessarily agree with their perspective, you don't have to get angry and, malicious and get, all this type of negativity if we just don't agree with you. We could have differences and nuances, you know what I'm saying? But we shouldn't have to get into a fucking, what's I'm thinking for, a competition who has it worse. Does black men have it worse, or do black women have it worse? And then, no. We're both marginalized in society. Just being real, we both are. So instead of having a pissing contest who's doing it worse, we're just trying to uplift each other. Point blank, period, right? And for a lot of women say they feel frustrated with a lot of past relationships. And I was talking to someone maybe a year ago about this, and we're talking about relationships in general. And women say they want someone who, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. Women hate that they do not have the control of their life. Point blank, period. Women cannot control their life the way they want to. Women want to be in their career, meet a certain guy, and get married by a certain age and have her kid at a certain age. However, it's not up to a woman to decide when she gets married. So a lot of these women are in the workplace or online, and they're frustrated saying, where's all these good men and all this type of stuff? Because reality, they're just frustrated that they're not at the point where they want to be in life because they dealt with some bad guys, or the person they were with, they weren't compatible. It can be a huge list of issues, right? But that's why they're upset saying there's no good men, because in their mind's eyes, the only reason why they're not where they want to be is because of men, which is a dumb perspective, which is not fucking valid. But that's where they're coming from. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, well, all men are bad, and that's the only reason why I'm at age 30, I'm not married. It could be just because you picked some bad people, or you were dealing with some of your own shit. There's a huge list of reasons why people break up. But just because you have a bad experience with a few guys doesn't mean all bad guys are bad indicatively, right? And the last thing I want to say, this long spiel. The last thing I want to say is what can everyone do, right? Is that some women, like I said, some want to have a different power dynamic in the relationship. Some women want to have more power in the relationship, which is fine. Like, is that what I want? Not necessarily. But if a woman wants to have more power in a relationship and a guy wants to go with that, that's all to them. It doesn't affect me any way, shape, or form if a woman wants to have more power in a relationship because I'm not dating that person. Correct. If someone's making a voice, this is becoming a mantra for women who want to have that. Hey, I'm not dating any women who have this ideology. Mm-hmm. Period. Like, it's just that simple. There's enough women who are happy, who want to meet someone who's doing decently well, who want to settle down, who'll be happy to be in a kitchen, barefoot, and pregnant. There's a lot of women like that. Trust me, I have ran across a lot of them. They'd be like, I just want to get married and have a kid, and I'd be happy if you go to work and I'm a stay-at-home mom. Like, they are happy with that. They don't care about the power dynamic. For some women, it does matter, and it's just it's a different reality. And I think for some of us as guys, I'm even talking about myself, it's startling to hear people want to do this because it's so fucking different from what we expect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, the same way I see gay people having sex, or lesbians, or transvestites, whatever. What the fuck they're doing in their bedroom doesn't bother me. I'm still watching Lakers and Heat tomorrow. I'm still watching the Astros play today. Like, regardless of whatever someone else is doing in the another house or another household or another relationship, it doesn't affect me. Correct. Point blank, period. And so I think that's where all this stuff is coming from. Women they're talking about it in coded fucking language, which a lot of women use coded language for a lot of shit. The whole big is beautiful. That's not saying big is beautiful. They're not saying being fat is being gorgeous. They're saying you need to have more. You need to have higher self-esteem in you, no matter how you look. Fuck, there's some people who are beautiful who are suicidal. You know what I'm saying? So it's all this coded language, and for a lot of times, if you look at it from what it is, you'll be fucking confused. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I come. Are women the least, are they the most unprotected out of all races? No, I think it's probably black men. I'd probably say Hispanic men in some companies are pretty bad too. But it comes, and so women might say, and this, I'm just going to mention this last bit. The debate happened yesterday. I know you didn't watch it. And when the debate occurred, there was a lot of comments talking about Kamala Harris saying, it's my turn to speak, right? And there was a lot of women online talking about how this was so important that it got a black woman telling a white guy to shut up, basically. Me personally, I don't really draw anything out of that. I'm not a black woman, so I don't know how they personally feel about the whole situation. However, if women feel like in the workplace their voice doesn't matter, which is, the reality is that your voice doesn't matter if you're not fucking white. That's the reality. It has nothing to do with that you're a black woman. It has nothing to do with that you're a woman. It's just that you're not a white male, period. But from their perspective, they feel like being a black woman is the reason why they can't speak to people. And, and so something as simple like with Kamala Harris, you say, why would these women get so, hung up, or they think this is so powerful that a black woman telling a white guy to be quiet? They're not, you got to look a little bit deeper than what it actually is saying. You know what I'm saying? You have to look past the optics. You have to look past what it looks like to get to the actual meaning of it. Because most of the times, these symbols and, things we're saying, if you look at like on a very rudimentary level, it won't make sense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's what I want to say. Like I said, I heard everyone talking about, basically women need to do this, women do that. And I'm like, I do agree we need to do better, but at the same time, we need to understand their coded language. If a woman says that, hey, I can be bad by myself, I don't need no nigga, and you just look and say, have you been hurt before? They're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Did your mom get hurt? And maybe they might change their attitude, because the reality is that that's probably where that shit's coming from. Just being real, Does anyone want to be home fucking alone by themselves for the rest of their life? Fuck no. We're social creatures. Correct. We love it. That's why we go out to have fucking parties. That's why we have get-togethers. It's part of our, our human nature. If someone says they want to be independent, they're going against their fucking nature. If it's going against your nature, it's probably not what they're actually saying.
That's interesting. Like I said, and I need to do better at that. I tend to try to put myself in other people's shoes, but looking at it, like you said, looking at those that coded language, looking at it a little deeper, and the messages that are really being said to get a better understanding. That's a very interesting point. That's definitely something I hadn't been doing.
It's like I said, it's difficult. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It takes, like I said, I have female friends. I have to have these discussions with them because, for me, just looking at, like I said, X means this. If you state this, this is what this means, And like I said, for them, it's not the actual words of it, it's the symbology of the words. What is it, what I'm saying? It's more about, like a symbol, Like I said, no one's going to be saying big is actually beautiful. There might be some fat people who want to say that to make themselves feel better. But the reality is that big is not beautiful, and the people who know that is that every fucking rap video, every magazine, that's not what's attractive. The same way a guy with a beer gut is not going to be on the cover of Mental Health magazine. That's not what it's about. But a lot of women have a lot of self-esteem problems because they try to out-compete each other with who has the biggest ring, who get their nails done, their hair. A lot of women have all these fucking psychological things. They battle with each other all the fucking time, and it leads to them being depressed. And that's what that whole shit's about, But like I said, if you think literally just saying big is beautiful, or he's like, this is bullshit, women are full of shit, this is dumb. And
the thing
like
is,
I said, I just have a different perspective. Like I said, everyone has, has a right to their own perspective. That's just my perspective.
Yeah, no, like I say, it's interesting. Like I say, to look at it like that, and some of the things that you said. And I think the biggest point was, being able to share your perspective, but also be able to listen when somebody disagrees. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's saying, okay, well, the perspective is a little different. If you instead of getting mad about it or saying that somebody's dismissing you, that's not the case. They're providing you an alternative view, but a lot of women don't even want to see that. They just want to, well, this is what it is. I feel this way, so this is what it has to be. Like you have to be willing to listen to an alternative view, and I think that'll be huge too.
Yeah. If more people would just do that in general, not even just about relationships, just in politics, just in life, the whole world would be a different place. It's just a holistic problem with everybody. No one wants to listen to people who disagree with them. Simple. You know what I'm saying? If we could fix that, shit, this whole world would be a much better place. Shit, we probably wouldn't have wars if people would actually listen to each other. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's definitely the problem. Like, people come in with agendas and intentions, and they're not trying to hear shit. And then after that, well, it's a wrap. Everything just kind of escalates or it rolls downhill, however you want to look at it.
No. Like I said, I'll leave it up to you. That's all I wanted to, speak my piece.
Okay,
Peace,
Mr.
and appreciate listening to the show always.
Man, I thank you for calling in and providing the perspective, man. So thank you.
You too.
All right. Now, I know I said that would be last, but y'all know how it goes sometimes in the den. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this afternoon?
What's good, Honcho? This prepaid.
Prepaid, man. What's the motherfucker? You got your bags packed, man? You already out the door?
What you say?
I say you got your bags packed. You already out the door and left the family behind, man?
Man, fuck them people. I'm out. It's 2020. Figure the shit out on your own. As I sit here in my office with my feet popped up and, I'm sitting around looking at all my achievements on the wall and, there's nothing better than having two chicks who don't come to the den, pop up and talk spice to us, just how poor we are and how broke we are because we're in the den. We should be somewhere building houses and replacing tires and shit, only to find out that they're married to regular ass people, And there's no knock on being a regular person, but please stop coming here and trying to talk past us.
Yeah.
I make more than both of y'all husbands put together. Please stop. Now that we got the pleasantries out the way, let's get to it. First and foremost, I don't know when black women say we're the least protected people in the United States, what do you need protection from? The cops ain't killing you. Y'all keep telling how educated y'all are, so y'all getting good jobs. What y'all gonna talk about the pay gap that they lie about? Because y'all getting paid what you're supposed to get paid. So what do you need protection from? You need protection from the big bad white man who mansplains you and explains things to you at your job. Is that the problem? Or are you upset because John from New York said that black women wear weave or they're loud or whatever the case? We need to jump in and save you from that. Here's a better idea. We don't owe you anything.
Correct.
If you want a man to quote unquote protect you, how about you let the man lead you? Here's a better idea. How about letting the man lead you without putting these prerequisites on him? So, for example, you only want a man to lead you if he makes six figures. If he's smooth talking like Barack Obama. If he's 6'8" like LeBron James. If he lives in a $300,000 house. If he has 4 or 5 cars. It doesn't work that way, baby girl. A man is a leader because that's the natural position that he's in. The same way you want to be treated like a queen, even though you ain't a fucking queen. You don't have no queen characteristics. See how that thing works? So the man can lead because that's his natural position. You'll be treated like a queen because that's your natural position. That's the difference of it. Other women besides black women, they've caught on to this already. Black women, y'all don't figure this out till y'all in y'all 30s. That's why y'all be 35 and wonder why ain't nobody checking for y'all no more. It took you 40 pounds to wake up and realize that you can't be the man of the house. You're bad. And if you think I'm lying, when was the last time you heard a nigga say, man, I really want some 35-year-old pussy? Man, I'm out here such a flying. I can't wait to go out here and find me one of them badass 36-year-olds. Don't nobody say no shit like that. Nobody. And John made a comment and said, if black men are protecting y'all, date outside your race. Let me clear the air on something real quick. Since I'm around influential white people all the time, the reason why black women don't date outside their race is because they aren't desirable to white men. So you know who white men go out there and get? They go get Serena Williams, Meghan Markle, Eve, the rapper. You know the reason why these women don't have nothing to do with the regular women? Because they already had success before they met these white men. White men only go get the best of the black women. So that means the majority of y'all ain't got no chance on these white men anyway. None of them. None of y'all have a chance on these white men. That's why y'all stuck with us. And let me clarify that for the women who don't know me. That's why y'all stuck with them. I'm married, baby girl. I don't want to do none of y'all because ain't none of y'all got a pot to piss and want to drink out of. So when y'all come here and talk spice and say, and you got the other little chick, Northern Light, oh, well, black women are out here getting it. That's why they don't submit to people because they're here making their own money. Their men are going to jail and smoking weed. Well, if what you're saying is true, and all these black women are you know what I'm saying, the world greatest scholars, and you know all the black men, we sit around, smoke weed, and live with our mama's house, and because you know we don't have a job or no shit like that, then why do black women have the highest rates of children born out of wedlock? Why do black women have the lowest marriage rates? Do y'all ever put two and two together? Did you ever have the correlation? How does this whole thing happen? If y'all are such outstanding and y'all killing the game and yes, queen and all that bullshit, how come anybody checking for y'all? Because you have perception versus reality. The perception is black women are the most educated people in America. The reality is that, yeah, and guess what? They think they better than what they really are. They feel like they've accomplished more than what they really have. And for any woman, since y'all, you know, I know y'all think y'all know everything, whatever the case may be, let me explain something to you. A man, a real man, I don't care what you want to call us, toxic masculinity, misogynist, we don't care about a woman's accomplishments because a man is a provider. I ain't never met a nigga who said, I need a woman to make X amount of dollars. I ain't never met a man who asks a woman at a bar or at a restaurant what she does for a living. But guess what? Women ask that question to men because they're searching for a provider. We're natural providers. That's how this works. We naturally protect ours. Now, to all the black women who are upset right now, if what I said don't apply to you, don't take offense to it, baby girl. If you taking care of your business and you handling your business and you are allowing your man to lead you, guess what? Don't nothing I said apply to you. I love you. Continue doing your thing. But guess what? Don't sit up here and try to block for these motherfuckers who ain't got shit going for themselves. That's the problem. Denounce these people. These hoes who ain't got shit going for themselves, denounce them, please, because they gonna do them to drag you down. That's why the connotation of black women is always so bad. That's why, because y'all don't get rid of the bad apples. See, me, you ain't never heard me say, man, shit, future is what black men should strive to be. You ain't never heard that. Exactly. You ain't never heard a nigga say, man, you know my partner with the 5 kids? I'm picking nigga up tonight. We going to the strip club. I love that nigga. You never heard nobody say no shit like that. But your homegirl who be scamming and stealing from niggas and who be selling pussy on the low, y'all like them. Women love them. They embrace them. They say that they get in the bag. So if y'all want to talk, let's talk. But all that beating around the bush and that passive-aggressive talk y'all doing, man, kill that shit. This is not Twitter. This is not Twitter. This is a community. What is the deal? It's the best what?
The best conversation on the whole entire internet.
On the whole entire internet. So please stop coming here and trying to thumb your nose at us. And if your husband is a teacher, thank you so much. As y'all know, I value education to the highest. Thank you for his sacrifices. But again, stop coming here and trying to tell us that we're poor, that we should be somewhere turning big rocks into little rocks, or whatever idea you have of what a man should be doing at this time of day, because it doesn't work that way. A lot of us own businesses in the den. Stop this. A lot of us have careers, not jobs, careers. So please stop that. You got anything for me, Honcho?
Man, Mr. Prepaid, you know, you done came and laid the foundation down as always. I got one question for you, because it was a question I proposed while Mr. Man Up was on earlier, and I just like your opinion on it. Do you think, let me make sure I word this properly, there are more single mothers in the black community than there are men who have had children, than there are men who have not had children out of wedlock?
Oh, definitely more single mothers, because we're 13% of the population. There's more women than men. So it's definitely more women who've had had kids out of wedlock. And here's the thing, because you got to remember, there's a percentage of black men who don't date black women. Correct. There are a percentage of men in the black community who are gay. So you got to cut them off automatically. So once you get down to, so if we're 6%, we lost probably, how many, out of 6%, how many percent think is probably gay in 2020? Oh,
man. We count just Atlanta alone, or we talking about the whole U.S.? Because Atlanta probably knocked off a percentage or two on its own.
Exactly.
Yeah. I could.
So you're looking.
But yeah.
So we probably lost 2 to 3% to gay men in the black community. Then, as the black woman in the den was saying, how we always go to prison So I guess you could throw another 1% up on the people who are in prison who didn't have kids, so they got locked up at a young age. So now we're down to 3%. Then you got the percentage of black men who don't date black women. So I price that's 1%. So now we looking at around about 2%, right, of black men who have kids out of wedlock. But we know for sure 7% of our population have a ridiculous amount of kids out of wedlock. And we're not talking about, you got married, had a kid, got divorced. We're talking about people with 5 or 6 kids who've never been married. 5 or 6 kids, and she has a hard time deciding who these kids belong to. Some of these hoes so nasty, I don't even know if the kids belong to them. Shit. Plus, if it's, what I'm saying, mama's baby, papa's baby, is this even your child? This kid don't even look like you, woman. It is what it is. So if we gonna talk, let's talk. If y'all gonna, do this passive aggressive thing, y'all can leave. Y'all can go ahead and miss me with that shit. And I know it's been getting kind of heated in the den lately in the Discord. Let me tell y'all something, man. We are a community. It's okay to disagree.
Correct.
It's okay to get angry. Correct. But at the end of the day, y'all got to come to a common ground and respect each other. As long as you got respect, all the rest of the shit is water under the bridge. But one thing I'm not going to allow you to do, I'm not going to let you come in here without knowing us and try to question our manhood. We're not going to let you come in here and try to tell us what real men's supposed to do, because you ain't going to never hear me get on the phone and tell you what a real woman's supposed to do. I'm not a woman. I couldn't tell you what a real woman's supposed to do. What I can tell you is from the shit I've been seeing, y'all definitely getting it wrong. Take it as you will. As if me, Honcho, man, I'll probably jump in the Discord for a little while with y'all. Come fuck with you.
All right. Well, that's a bet. Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Prepaid, sealing the deal the right way. Thank you for calling in, sir.
All right. Have a good day.
All right.
Hold on, Honcho. Hold on quick.
Yes, sir.
Did Northern Light just say that she's Indian?
Yeah, she's been saying she's Indian the whole time.
Baby girl, I've been to India. Y'all don't lead shit. Who are you fooling? Who are, you said in your community women are allowed to lead. Lead what? Half of your body is covered up when you leave the crib. What are you leading? Your cousins, your cousins across the valley just got the ability to drive cars. Who are you fooling? We're not all 16-year-olds who sit around and eat, edibles all day and don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Who are you fooling? You are from India. You don't control shit. You don't lead nothing. The only thing you decide is what to cook when your man tells you what to cook. Don't do that.
There better be curry in it.
Please stop. Please stop that. You gotta stop that. You know who you are. You're just as bad as the Canadians who get on social media and tell us, oh, we don't respect America. We don't respect America. America is this and that, man. But y'all breaking your neck to come over here. You're not fooling us. One thing about Americans, we actually do travel. I've been to probably there's pretty much nowhere I haven't traveled to, honestly, with you. So you need to go ahead and stop that. So let that go. Stop that. Stop telling us what goes on in your community and how you lead. You don't lead absolutely anything. Period. In fact, if you don't mind, while we're on the phone, I want you to respond and tell me what exactly that you lead in your community.
Interesting.
Okay. Because the Indian culture is pretty much like Hispanic culture.
Yeah.
They provide. The men provide. The men don't answer no questions when they come home. So basically, for the Hispanic culture, and what's that shit called? Jadiman, the little seeds they be chewing, the little tobacco seeds that the Indians be chewing, that's what they give when they come home. Y'all don't answer, they don't answer no questions to y'all. Please stop that. Whatever you do, please come here and be real with yourself. Because there's people in the den who actually lead this country. We actually go places. And if you don't mind me asking, man, before I get off this phone, what part of India are you from?
Oh, she got timed out for spamming. So,
okay, perfect. Because I was in Mumbai, and I can tell you right now, a whole bunch of mud huts, a whole bunch of dirty shit, a whole bunch of slums over there. And I can tell you right now, and they got women out there selling pussy literally on the side of the street, half naked. So I don't know what you come with this whole, you was leading all this? No, you wasn't. Stop that. So that's it for me, man. Y'all be blessed. If you ugly, good luck to you. That's all I got.
Really appreciate it, babe. So here's how this goes. You know, we usually do about 2 hours. Either we slide into the Discord. Everybody's welcome to the Discord. I've posted the link multiple times, and it's really funny, right? Because Northern Lights come here telling us to stop talking about black women, but then you came here. The first thing this motherfucker said when he came in here is that black women are undesirable. I thought it was a dude at first. And then you talk about you an Indian woman, then you trying to talk about stop doing this, then you saying others don't want. Like, let's be honest, you know, being like, I've never heard of a nigga like ever hollering at an Indian chick. Like, I've never heard a dude say, man, that Indian bro, like, as a black dude. Now, I've seen niggas check for Latino, let not be Latino, Latinas and white girls and shit, even Asians. I've never in my entire existence ever, like, if you there and you just happen to be on the scene, niggas will holler at anything. But I've never seen a black man say, I gotta get me an Indian woman. There's just something. Like, y'all look black women with straight hair. Like, straight up. They're just black women with the weave already installed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And like, it is what it is. Like, there ain't no difference. Y'all got the little dots and shit. So, stop the nonsense. You're like, you're a black. Like, get the fuck off the gas. Now, Beautiful Brown, I agree with you 100%. That fucking, look, when they found out black women wanted that weave money, that's where they started coming up. So, again, we can get into, like, if y'all want to get into them real conversations, man, slide to Discord. There's certain stuff we can't say on YouTube. Y'all already know what it is, but everything, there are no limits in the Discord. Absolutely. That's what I say. Man, a lot of Indian people, they don't. They think they're better blacks. Shit. Wasn't Gandhi a motherfucking Indian or something like that? Or he was from over there somewhere. He ain't even like niggas. And he probably preached all that peace and all that other bullshit. So that's what I say, man. You gotta be cautious. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with everybody, but I'm not oblivious to how other cultures feel about black people. You know what I'm saying? And so, trust me. Is it me? It depends on how you treat me. You know, we can get treated handsome, but we can play the same game. So it is what it is. But Discord, make sure y'all in there. I'm dropping the link. Slide in there. No excuses. If you're new to it, well, learn how to get true to it, man. Join the Discord. You do it from your phone, do it from your PC, wherever you may be. I'm in that thing right now. I'm something to produce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool, man. Man Up, shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through and getting the stream jumped off right. But hey, I'll catch y'all in the... But if y'all fuck with Sauce Sports, I'll catch y'all in the sauce. Now that Billy O gone, and I do got a recording I want to do for the DM. But like I said, we're in the Discord. Like I'm in there right now. I'm already in the Discord. Like while we talking, I'm just muted. So while y'all waiting, you can't beat me there. So meet me there.